Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are concluding today Shrimad Bhagavad Gita along with Shankar Bhashya. Little portion is remaining. After we complete that portion, then we will take the review of the whole Bhagavad Gita and try to see how this can be applied in our life. And this application of this knowledge is squarely in our hands. Nobody is responsible for this. We will have to do that. Nobody can do it as a proxy for us. Will you please wash my clothes? I don't feel like washing the clothes. Okay, I'll wash. Will you please realize on my behalf? No. Therefore, we take this topic, Parisamaptaha Shastrarthaha Athaidanim Katha Sambandha Pradarshanaartham Sanjaya Uvacha. The topic of Bhagavad Gita is over, Shastrartha. Now that Katha, the story that was going on in Mahabharata, that has to be completed. And therefore, Sanjaya says that what I have seen, heard, this dialogue between Bhagavan Sri Krishna and Partha, it was unparalleled, adbhutam, never it has happened earlier, and it was a unique experience. And this I was able to see by the grace of the divine vision given to me by Bhagavan Vedavyasa, and therefore I have heard it directly from the mouth of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And here, Dhritarashtra, O king, when I think about it again and again, now see, from here you come to know. Raja Sansmrutya Sansmrutya Samvadam Imam Adbhutam means what? When I remember this dialogue between Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna, what it means? This was not told by Sanjay to Dhritarashtra when it was happening. It is only the memory. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita was delivered by Bhagavan Sri Krishna to Arjuna before the war was fought. It was related to Dhritarashtra by Sanjay on the 10th day. So all those 10 days, he says, Hey Rajan, Sansmrutya Sansmrutya. All last 10 days I have been remembering the divine experience I have gone through after listening to these words of Bhagavan Sri Krishna through the Bhagavad Gita. And therefore, I feel extremely fortunate and extremely happy. And I still remember the divine form the Lord has shown to Arjuna. So, Rupam Atyadbhutam Harehe, Harehe Atyadbhutam Rupam, that extremely rare manifestation, Vismayomi Mahan Rajan, therefore I was extremely surprised, dumbfounded. And after having said this, now on the 10th day, when Pitama Bhishma has fallen to the arrows of Arjuna, the signs of defeat started appearing in the ranks of Kauravas. When this news reaches Dhritarashtra that Pitama Bhishma has fallen, and he suddenly gets perturbed. As long as he was on the ranks, he had no problem. The moment he gets this news, then he asks Sanjay, "Hey Sanjay, what happened? How come this is happening?" Therefore, the first verse, if you remember clearly, I told that this question, that Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamaka Pandava Shaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya, it was not a question of inquiry. It was an objection. How can it happen? Now see, therefore, these words, Sansprutya, very clearly tell us that Bhagavad Gita was told to Arjun before the war, but to the Dhritarashtra on the 10th day of the war. And he says, "I have seen the divine form of the Lord. And in that divine form, I have seen that Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha, Karna, all of them are being killed. And therefore, at least now, hey Dhritarashtra, withdraw from the war. Don't continue this manslaughter." And therefore, in the last verse, he gives a final verdict, Sanjay. Now, Bhagavad Gita is heard, before we go into this, Bhagavad Gita is heard by how many people? First, Bhagwan Sri Krishna told, Arjun heard. First. Second thing, Bhagwan Veda Vyasa showed, Sanjay heard and saw. Vyasa prasada shrutavan etad guhyam aham param. Second pair. The third one, Sanjay told and Dhritarashtra heard. And the fourth pair, the Acharya tells and the students listen. These are the four pairs. If you have studied Ramcharitmanas, there the whole thought is presented like a Manas Sarovar. In that Manas Sarovar, the big lake, holy lake, it is imagined that there are four sides. And all the four sides, Rama Katha is going on. The story of Rama is going on. On one side, it is the Shiva Parvati. There Shiva is telling the story to Parvati. On other side, it is the Bharadwaj and Yajnavalkya. That story is going on. The third side, it is Kaka Bhushundi and Garudji story going on. And the fourth side, the present Katha that is going on. So these are the four sides. In the same manner, Bhagavad Gita is told under these four conditions. Just in short, you can expand it more. Many more things are there, but for our purpose. Now, out of this, what happened to Arjun after listening to Bhagavad Gita is reported. Arjun hovacha nashto moha smritir labdha tat prasadat mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. What happened to Sanjaya after hearing and seeing the Bhagavad Gita? That is told. That Vismayo me mahan rajan rishyami cha punah punaha rajan sanspritya rupamatyadbhutam harehe. This is told. Third thing, this Bhagavad Gita was also heard by Dhritarashtra. What happened to him? Nowhere there is a mention. Do you know the reason? Nothing happened to him. He was as it is. Now, there are two things. One, what happened to Arjuna and Sanjaya, this is known. Second thing, what happened to Dhritarashtra, it is known. So, nothing happened to Dhritarashtra, he didn't change. And Arjuna and Sanjay, both of them had different experience. Now, where do we want to go and join? Do we want to go and join Dhritarashtra, or we want to go and join Arjuna and Sanjay? See how important it is. Nothing has changed in Dhritarashtra. Same thing. That is why, it is our responsibility, if we have studied the scriptures, that we change. Here, Arjuna has changed, Nashto Moha Smritir Labdha. Sanjay has experienced divine experience. Means what? If we are required to change, like Arjuna, we should change. And if we are like Sanjaya, then we should be able to experience the divine being that we are. And if this does not happen, neither we change nor we have the divine experiences, then we belong to the Dhritarashtra brigade here. And such people, throughout their life, they themselves are miserable and they make everyone around them miserable. This is the conclusion that we all have to understand. Now see what happened to Arjuna. He himself tells that Nashto mohaha ajnanajaha samasta samsara anartha hetuhu mohaha nashtaha. My delusion is destroyed. Now what is the delusion? Where from the samsara begins? Samsara begins from our identity. So, if our identity is corrected, the samsara stands corrected. And all of us suffer in this world because of the wrong identity, like Arjuna suffered before the war. So we have to decide what is our identity. Are we brother, sister, son, daughter, mother, father exclusively, or are these roles that we have to play and we are exclusively that absolute reality? Decide your own identity, who you are. And based on that, your further life will be determined. Therefore, Nashto Mohaha, then Smritihi Labdha, Atma Tattva Vishaya Smriti Labdha. Now I have recognized myself. Now recognition of oneself is again at two levels. One is in the relative world. So in the relative world, if I have to live in this world, I have to fulfill my role perfectly well. So if I am in a battlefield and then I say, no, I am Parabrahma Paramatma, that is wrong. And as regard the role playing is concerned, we do the best. But at the same time, in performing this role, we never forget our essential self. That is important. And therefore, Smriti Labdha Tat Prasadatmaya Chito, O Lord, by your grace. Now, Sthitaha Asmi Gata Sandehaha. Now I am free from all the doubts. Sthitaha. Here Bhagwan's commentary is very beautiful. He says, Anena moha nasha prativachanena sarva shastrat iyota nishchitam stitaha asmi tvat shasane. See, now I surrender myself completely to receive your instructions and follow them in life. Otherwise, after having heard so much, although the Lord say you decide and you continue to hold the deluded identity of your being, that you are a grandson and you are a disciple, then you will go the wrong way. Therefore, as we have read in our Taittiriya Upanishad, अथ जनिते कर्म विचिकित्सा वा वृत्त विचिकित्सा वा स्यात्. If you are doubt about what to do, what not to do, if you are doubt about what should be lived, what should not be lived, ye tatra brahmanaha sammarshinaha, there, wherever you are, whatever wise people are there, you go to them, take their advice and lead your life. This is what Arjuna has done. Therefore, Sthitaha asmi idanim tvat shasane. Now I am fully submitting myself to your dictum, tvat shasane. And how I am? Gata sandehaha asmi. Now there is no doubt for me at all about anything. And therefore, karishe vachanam tava, I shall follow your instructions. How important it is. And what is the instruction of the Lord? The scriptural authority. The Lord has nothing to gain from us. When He tells us, get up early in the morning, you have to finish your things and do the Brahma Dhyana or study of the scriptures. Do you think by these instructions which are given by the Lord through the scriptures, they are meant for torturing us? No. And this can happen that we will accept every instruction of the scripture if we have surrendered to the Lord. If we say to somebody that, I surrender to you. Oh, very good. I wanted somebody. Will you please clean this place? No, that you don't tell me. I don't do that job. What kind of surrender it is? Therefore, karishe vachanam tava. The real following the teacher is to surrender totally. Because Bhagavan has told, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. And Arjuna said, yes, I take refuge in you. Therefore, sthitosmi tvat shasane. See how true it is. That means what instruction was given by the Lord, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja, this was understood and applied by Arjuna there and then. I will agree with you, Lord, with everything except this war. Then what is the use of all Bhagavad Gita? And what was the instruction of Bhagavan Sri Krishna? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. According to Bhagavan Shankar's Bhashya, we have seen that. Sarva dharman parityajya sarvancha ye dharma tan atra adharma api gruyate. Surrender everything to me. Parityajya sanyasya sarva karmani iti etat. Giving up all the activities. And then think of me, Sharanam Raja Mam. Now here, this we have understood according to Bhagavan's Bhashya. Now let us think from other point of view. Sarva dharman parityajya. Giving up all the dharma. Dharma of the body, dharma of the prana, dharma of the mind, and so on. So, giving up all the dharma means what? Give up the dharma of the body. Which are the dharma of the body? Asti, jayate, vardhate, viparanate, abakshiyate, vinashyati iti, shadvikaravat, edas, thulam, shariram. This body, which is born, changes, etc., etc., sarva dharman parityajya means do not identify with the dharma of the body. One meaning. Similarly, do not identify with the dharma of the prana. Ashana pipasa, hunger and thirst. Then, sarva dharman parityajya, do not identify with the dharma of the mind. Shoka moha. Give up the identification with the dharma of the buddhi. Na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya sujati prabhu. There is no place for the doership, the ego. And sarva dharman, anandamaya kosh, don't sleep all the time. Awake. This is the meaning of sarva dharman parityajya from the sadhana point of view. disidentification. So do the all yoga abhyas. So this understanding is, let our life be a self-disciplined one. What is yoga abhyas? Yoga abhyas is self-discipline. See? When we come and do the yogasana, what we are doing? We are disciplining our body by ourselves. And what is the physical training? Physical training is, now stand properly, every stand properly. Now start jumping and your hand should go along with your jump side and come down, right, and come down. So you are being disciplined by someone else. But in yoga abhyas, you are disciplining yourself. This is one meaning, sarva dharman parityajya. Now second meaning is, sarva dharman parityajya according to dharma shastra. So what is the meaning? What the dharma says, varnashrama vyavastha. So whatever is your varna, brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, whatever is your ashrama, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi, live your life according to that, and all other things you give up. You have no business to get into somebody else's varna and somebody else's ashram. Now for example, here you are students, brahmacharya ashram. Now here you should give up everything else and focus attention only on your study. As simple as this. Sarva dharman parityajya according to the dharma shastra. Then according to devotion, ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत् किंच जगत्याम जगत तेन त्यक्तेन भुंजीथा. See, everything belongs to the Lord. So sarva dharman parityajya, don't have any ownership about anything in this world. Tena tyaktena bhunjitha. Live in this world as a devotee of the Lord. Mam ekam sharanam braja. And when we are living as a devotee of the Lord in this world, thereafter, a devotee is the one who does not vote in favor of anything else. He has only the Lord as the ultimate abode, ultimate support. Sarva dharman parityajya. From the devotion point of view. Ananya shintayanto mam ye janam paryupasade. And from the knowledge point of view, and this is the best, uttamam sukham. What is the knowledge point of view? Sarva dharman parityajya, give up the dharma of the body, etc. As well as dharma, the body, jiva bhava. The word dharma is used to indicate jiva, the soul. Now the teacher says, sarva dharman parityajya. You can give up something under the following condition. One condition, if it is yours. You cannot give up somebody else's thing, I can't go to my friend and tell her, his wife, hey, my friend's wife, yes, I divorce you. Look here. What my friend will tell? Don't take my right. That is my right. You cannot divorce my wife. So I can give up something only if it belongs to me. So sarva dharman parityajya means find out what belongs to us in this world. Therefore, this word sarva dharman parityajya means recognize. Never ever anything belongs to us. And that what we are really, aheyam anupadeyam, that which cannot be rejected, that we are rejecting. Therefore, sarva dharman, all the relative standpoints with which we are living in this world, reject all of them and recognize the absolute one. Mam ekam sharanam braja. So that one is the absolute reality and all the different roles that you are playing, they are only the relative one. Recognize this. And therefore, never get carried away by the roles that you are playing in this world. Sarva dharman parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Come to discover that unbroken, conscious, blissful substratum that is supporting all the dharmas. The father, the mother, the brother, the sister, the friend, the enemy, all are supported by this one absolute reality. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. In this manner, this verse of Bhagavad Gita gives us a summary of all the paths: karma, yoga, bhakti and jnanam. The path of dharma, righteousness; the path of yoga, self-discipline; the path of bhakti, devotion; and the path of knowledge, inquiry. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam charanam vraja. What will happen as a result? That aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. I shall liberate you from all the sins. And what is the sins that we are all committed? This also you should never forget what I am telling you in your whole life. Anyatha santamatmanam anyatha pratipadyate. Kim tena na krutam papam chorena atma apahana. We are essentially Satchidananda Parabrahma Paramatma. Anyatha santama anyatha pratipadyate. But we start taking ourselves to be the body and the body related relative standpoints. That is the highest path. See? Therefore, aham tva sarva papebhyo moksha. This is the original sin. See? The moment I discard that I am not the body, when the body identification is discarded, then in the deep sleep or in the dream, the sin of the waking do not touch me. Like the sin of the dream do not touch me in the waking. In the same manner, the sins of relativity never touch the absolute reality. And therefore, Nachiketa says, Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat, anyatra smat krita kritat. Therefore, it is only in the relative standpoint that there are sins. Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. So all the sins will be discarded only when we understand and start living the absolute view. There is no other way. Ma shuchaha. And what is the spiritual practice? Refuse to be miserable. This is one of the most important spiritual practice. Under no condition should we justify that we are disturbed, we are miserable, we are hurt. No, then you are not the seeker. Because after realization, I will tell you. After realization, you will be happy. So who knows when you will get realized? So why not practice? Practice realization. Like we play home. You play realization. So playing realization is spiritual life. Nothing else. So what is that playing realization? Adveshta sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha. In this manner, ma shuchaha. Don't be worried, don't be miserable. Don't justify that. And when all this was seen by Sanjay, understood, experienced, and therefore he has come to a conclusion which he wants to communicate to his boss Dhritarashtra. At least now he may appreciate and conclude the war here itself, before additional manslaughter takes place. And therefore he says, the last verse of Bhagavad Gita, 700th, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Srir Vijayo Bhutihi Dhruvani tirmatirmama. Now, yatra yasmin pakshe yogeshvaraha sarvayoganam ishvaraha tat prabhavat sarvayoga bijasya cha. Yogeshvara Krishna. Why he is called as Yogeshvara? Because he is sarvayoganam ishvaraha. All the yogas, the mantra yoga, the siddha yoga, the karma yoga, the bhakti yoga, the jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, sashtanga yoga. Sashtanga yoga is Sharanagati. Ashtanga yoga is the arrogance. So, all these yogas, Ishvaraha, he is the Ishvara, Yogeshvara. Because Tat Prabhavat Sarva Yoga Bijasya. It is from the Lord alone all the yogas have come out. He is the seed, the origin, the cause of all the yogas. Therefore, in the life of Bhagavan Sri Krishna comes, he went to Sandipani Rishi for study at the age of, when he had just completed 11 years of his age. At the age of 11 years and odd, 11 plus, he killed Kamsa. And thereafter, Ugrasen and all these people were again re-established. And then Vasudeva Devaki, they were fondling and being happy with their own son. And then they said, now you are grown up, you are living among the illiterate fools of Vrindavan, you should be educated. So now I will send you to KG1. Blooming full KG classes. So he was sent to Patanjali, this Sandipani Maharshi, not Patanjali. Patanjali was not there that time. Patanjali is far earlier than Bhagavan Krishna. So he went to Sandipani. And when he went to Sandipani, in 64 days, he has learned 64 Vidyas. And Sandipani Maharshi, Hare Ram. Can imagine, only God can do this. Any subject that was taught was fully understood in one go. For us, Rama, 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 Ramaha, Raman. Whether Raman is in the accusative case or the nominative case. And then Ramaihi or Ramabhihi. Struggle and struggle, see. Therefore, he is the Yogeshvaraha. He is the Ishvara of all the Vidyas. Yasmin Pakshe Yogeshvara Krishnaha. And Yatra Partho Yasmin Pakshe Dhanurdharaha Gandiva Dhanva Tatra. Dhanurdhara. Dhanu is that bow which was this Gandiva Dhanushya. This was one of the most important instrument which Arjuna had. Arjuna had taken a vow. Anybody who will play fool with my Gandiva Dhanushya, even out of fun, I will kill him. And during the war, when so many things had happened and Kauravas were becoming more and more powerful, so one day Yudhishthir says, what happened to your Gandiva? And when this was said, Arjun becomes angry. And he said, I will kill you now. Because that is my vow. Anybody who makes fun of my Gandiva, I will kill him. See, this is how, the so-called great souls caught up somewhere in one foolishness. Bhishmacharya, I will protect the throne. But who is sitting on that he will not see. Now here also, I will protect the respect of my Gandiva bow. Anybody who says, I will kill him. But understand why he said, no, I have taken a vow. That is why, this our Dashrathji Maharaj. I have given a vow. Forget about it. See? This is how When Arjun said, anybody will say one bad word, I'll kill. Now there was a tension. Now the war is going on, and here this fellow wants to kill his brother. Now, how can you continue? You can imagine the tragedy of Bhagavan Krishna. And he has to solve all these dirty problems. They get married and they come to us, Swamiji, we want to get divorced. What should you? How did you get married at all? So, Bhagavan Krishna says, look here. You address your brother in a little arrogant and loud tone. Bhaiya, I don't like this. When you say like this to your elder brother, out of little loud voice and arrogance, it is killing the elders. Therefore, there is a rule in our scriptures. We should never teach our elders. We should never speak loudly before our elders. It is an insult and a sin as if we have killed them. The other day one person came somewhere in Bombay or somewhere and he was telling me, Swamiji, I want to tell you, my parents have become very old now and I have noticed my father is becoming more and more attached to the body. He is so much body oriented and mother is all the time worried. So I told one day, I said, Mom, look here. Between the two, one of you have to die. You prepare yourself. There is nothing, what you remaining in your life? You have lived your life. Now you have only one thing is remaining, that you have to die. So either he will die or you will die. And then I analyze everything. That if you die early, his life will be miserable. If he dies early, you will be able to manage because you have got some spiritual background. So I was keeping quiet. He said, Swamiji, you are not telling anything. I said, tomorrow you will teach me also. I have no doubt about it. He said, no sir, what happened? I said, who told you that you have the authority to teach your parents? Bhagavan Sri Krishna has never given one upadesh to his own father and mother. Not even one. And you go on teaching them. But Swamiji, did I tell wrong? I said, you did not tell wrong, but you told the wrong people. Parents are altar of respect and reverence first. They are not to be taught, they are to be respected, served. Second thing, the most important thing, the highest pain and misery an elderly person experiences when he has to be dependent on his own children. And in that, those children, when they start teaching wisdom to the mother and the father, that is a killing experience for them. That means, Swamiji, I have done wrong. I said, if you allow me, I will take one danda and hit on your head. Swamiji, it is so bad. I said, yes. You have no business to teach anything to your elders. Only serve them, that's it. If you cannot get away, don't teach. Therefore, Gandiva Dhanva Dhanurdharaha, he had that great instrument Gandiva in his hand. Now when these two things come together, come back to Bhagavad Gita. What are the two things? All of us have got these two powers. Jnana Shakti, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Kriya Shakti, Arjun. When these two powers unite together, not contradicting each other, but supporting each other, where knowledge is demonstrated in action, and actions are the demonstration of the wisdom. When these two things happen anywhere in this world, tatra tasmin pakshe pandavanam pakshe shrihi, prosperity is bound to be. See, even in the material world, we can have prosperity only under this condition, when knowledge is translated in action. Now, second thing, Sri, then Vijayaha Tatra Eva. Victory is also possible when we function without confusion and doubt. And absence of confusion and doubt is this supporting approach of the Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti, Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna. And what kind of Arjuna? Dhanurdharaha Arjuna. Not only the one who says, I will do everything whatever you tell, except I will not fight the war. Then he is not a Dhanurdhara. That is why, many of us have this notion that we surrender, but we never do that. Because we have our own identity still holding on. And that is why I will do this thing, I will not do this thing. Still individuality is there. I'll tell you one of my experience. As you know, I never take milk and all that. I was sitting with my Swamiji once somewhere in Delhi, and on the dining table, so he was sitting and I was sitting. And those people who were giving breakfast, they served breakfast to me as well as to Swamiji. No, I was simply sitting quiet. Whatever was given, I was eating. Swamiji was given a bumper glass of milk with that saffron in that. And he tasted in a nice silver glass and all that, He just tasted, useless. You take. He gave it to me. Now that time there are wise people always everywhere. So one lady started telling Swamiji that I never take milk. Swamiji doesn't know anything about anybody. So the moment she started, I pulled her back. I said, shut up. Don't talk anything. And I consumed the whole glass of milk. Afterwards, when everything was over, that lady said, Swamiji, why you have to take the milk when you don't take? You should tell Swamiji that I don't take milk. I said, do you know the difference between you and me? You are a devotee, and for you he will dance. I am a disciple. I have to change with whatever he tells me. See the basic difference. I said, if I am supposed to take the poison given by my teacher, and I say, no milk I don't take, and I claim that I am a great disciple of my Guru. What kind of disciple? Who has kept his identity and individuality. That is no discipleship. Therefore, the real Vijaya, prosperity, victory is only when there is a complete unison between these two factors, knowledge and action. Then bhutihi vishesho shriyo vishesho vistaraha. So Shri is wealth and prosperity, affluence is the bhuti. And the fourth one, dhruva avyabhicharini niti nayaha iti. Dhruva is firm, without any change, without any weakness. Niti, the principle. Such people are committed to their principle in life. And this is mati mama. This is my understanding. Means what? Hey Dhritarashtra, in this war, ultimately, Pandavas are going to win. Therefore, at least now you understand and call off the war. With this, Bhagavad Gita ends. Therefore, what is said in Bhagavad Gita? The first and the last word, dharma, and the last word, nitir matir mama. So mama dharma. What is our dharma? Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam praja. That is our dharma. Recognize your own essential self. That is the only purpose of our life. Therefore, whatever we do, it is only for attainment of that. Now, for all practical purposes, our Bhagavad Gita is complete. However, there are few things which we have studied in almost every Upanishad Bhashya. Therefore, I will not go in too many details. It is the same thing because Bhagavan has written commentary and he has to write independent commentary. He can't say, this I have already discussed in Ishavasya, this I already discussed in Kenopanishad. He can't say that. Therefore, he has to write everywhere in different words but the same principle. So here, the principle is told, which I will tell you in short. Atma Jnanasya tu, let us see before that. Asmin hi Gita Shastre Param Nishreyasa Sadhanam Nishchitam Kim Jnanam Kim Karma va Ahos with Ubhayam. Now let us think. What? In this Bhagavad Gita Shastra, whether the Nishreyasa Sadhanam, the means for attainment of the absolute reality, Nishreyasa Sadhanam, what is that? Kim Jnanam, Kim Karma, Ubhayam va. Three options. Whether Gita spoke about Jnanam or Karma or the Ubhayam means both, the Karma Jnana Samuchay. So the teacher says, Kuta Sadhya, why do you have this doubt? Because Bhagavan has very clearly said, Yash jnatva amrutam ashnute tato mam tatvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram ityadini vakyani kevala jnanan nishreyasa prapti darshayanti. Very clearly said. No. Why? Karmanyeva adhikaraste kuru karmaiva tasmatvam iti evam abdini karmanam avashya kartavyatam dasyarti. See? This is also said in the same Bhagavad Gita. So karmanam kartavyadam avashyam darshayanti, and therefore evam jnana karmanoho kartavyata upadeshat samucchetayoho api nishreyasa hetutvam syat iti vavai samchayaha. Therefore Bhagavan has spoken the importance of both the knowledge as well as the karma. Therefore the doubt can arise that Bhagavan means that we should have both knowledge as well as karma. Nishreyasa hetu, the cause for the liberation. Kim punaha atra mimamsa phalam. Suppose you discuss, inquire. What is going to get wasting your time? No. Nanu etadeva esham anyatamasya parama nishreyasa sadhanatva avadharanam ato vistirnataram mimamsyam etad. No, it is like this. Once we come to know that what is said in the Bhagavad Gita, that jnana is the ultimate means of attainment of the truth, or if the Bhagavad Gita concludes that karma is the ultimate for attainment of the truth, or Bhagavad Gita says there should be a perfect togetherness of jnana and the karma, accordingly we will follow that, and therefore we must know about it. And this is how now the discussion begins. Now what will be the discussion from these questions? Discussion will be whether knowledge is the ultimate for attainment of the liberation. This will be discussed and proved yes. Knowledge alone is the ultimate in attainment of the freedom from the relative existence. Second thing, karma cannot be. Because karma creates things in time, they are destroyed in time. And karma falls in the purview of the ignorance, avidya. And third, samuchaya, jnana karmanoho, the togetherness of the knowledge and the karma. It is not possible because they fall into two different categories. Knowledge is taking you to the absolute, karma keeps you in the relative. So how these two things can go together? And therefore, ultimately in our life, it is the knowledge alone that we have to follow. This is the conclusion of the total thought presented in this Bhashya. I will take few parts here and there. Atma jnanasya tu kevalasya nishreyase hetutvam bheda pratyaya nivartikatvena kaivalya phala avasanatvat. Now this is the pratijna, this is the final statement put forward right in the beginning, and this will be proving all through the discussion. So what is the preposition, hypothesis? Atma jnanasya tu kevalasya. So it is only the Atma jnana alone Nishreyasa hetutvam is the ultimate final cause of liberation. And how this is attained? Bheda pratyaya nivartakatvena, by removal of the sense of relativity, by discarding the duality in knowledge. And how far this will take us? Kaivalya phala avasanatvat. When the duality is rejected, we come to the absolute. And what is the absolute? Kaivalya. Kaivalya is what? Where the differences on account of vijatiya, the opposite, jada chetana, the inert and the sentient, the inert world and the sentient, jiva and the Ishvara. This bheda is not there. Second, sajatiya. Both are sentient, Ishvara and the jiva. But the jiva is not Ishvara, Ishvara is not jiva. So vijatiya, sajatiya and swagata. And among the jivas and among the jagat, there are many differences. In this manner, jiva, jagat, Ishvara, bheda is totally absent in this absolute, and this is the real liberation. Because it is only because of the differences and the duality that there is fear, that there is desire, that there is action, and that there is bondage born out of this. And therefore, Atma Jnanasya tu kevalasya nishreyasa hetutvam. Therefore, it is only by the knowledge of the self alone that the truth is revealed. There is no other way. Kriya karaka phala bheda buddhi avidyaya atmani nitya pravritta karma mama karma aham karta amushmaihi falaya idam karma karishyami iti iyam avidya anadi kala pravritta. Now this bheda buddhi, the appreciation of the differences between what? Kriya, the actions, karaka, the doer, phala, the result of the actions, avidyaya, out of ignorance, atmani nitya pravritta. This ignorance is responsible for creating this duality in the self. And how it is created? Mama karma, this is my karma. Aham karta, I am the doer. Amushmai phalaya idam karma karishyami, for such and such result I shall do this karma. Iyam avidya anadi kala pravritta. This ignorance is from the time unknown, always there. And because of this, it is said that jiva is anadi. And when this avidya, ignorance, is destroyed, naturally the eternal divine presence, which has acted under the influence of the avidya as if it is a limited being, that superimposed limitations are discarded and the infinite support is revealed as one's essential self. This is how the whole spiritual practice is indicated in Bhagavad Gita. Now, asya avidyayaha nivartakam, that which is the removal of these ignorant notions. What is that? I am aham, asmi, I am this body, etc. Then kevalaha, akarta, akriyaha, afalaha. Now, this was earlier thing that I am the doer, etc. Now the opposite, viparitam. Avidyaya nivartakam. What will be the opposite by which we will remove these wrong notions? The other way around. Aham ayam kevalaha akarta akriyaha afalaha asmi. I am this non-doer, non-doer without any modification, the absolute kevalaha afalaha. I don't need anything. Na mattaha anya astit kaschit. Other than me, there is nothing. Iti evam rupam atma vishayam jnanam utpadyamanam karma pravrutti hetu bhutayaha bheda buddhihe nivartakatvat. So this ignorance and the effects of the ignorance will be removed by the Atma Vidya, Atma Jnana. And what is that Atma Vidya, Atma Jnana? That I am the absolute, I am the not doer, I do not undergo any change, I am ever the same, there is nothing other than me. Therefore, who will desire what? Kimichan kasya kamaya shariram manushajvaret. Desiring what? Desiring who will desire for what? All these things will disappear in the knowledge of the self. Tu shabdaha, now in the first sentence, Atma Jnanasya tu kevalasya. So tu shabdaha, pakshadvaya vyavrutartha na kevalabhyaha karmebhyaha na cha jnana karmabhyam samuchitabhyam nishreyasa prapti iti pakshadvayam nivartayati. So that word tu is to emphasize that this Shreyasa Prapti is not possible by anything, either karma or through the karma jnana samuchaya. By functioning karma and the jnana together, they being of the opposite nature. Because akaryatvat cha nishreyasya karma sadhanatva anupapattihi. Because the nishreyasa, the absolute, is not the creation of action. Nishreyasa karma sadhanatva anupapatti akaryatvat. It is not a result of anything. Nahi nityam vastu karmana jnanena va kriyate. That which is eternal, it is neither created by knowledge nor it is created by action. And therefore, only Atma Jnana is enough. So when it is said, Nahi nityam vastu karmana jnanena va kriyate, not even by the knowledge the truth is created, then kevalam jnanam api anarthakam tarri. Then the knowledge is meaningless. Na avidya nivartakatve sati drushta kaivalya phala avasanatvat. No, what you are understanding is wrong. This knowledge will destroy the ignorance and naturally the truth will be revealed. Like avidya tamo nivartakasya jnanasya drushtam kaivalya phala avasanatvam. This knowledge, which is the removal of the ignorance, ultimately leads to the kaivalya, the absolute reality. Rajvadi vishaya sarpadi ajnanatamo nivartaka pradeepa prakasha phalavad. Like when we by mistake has taken the rope to be something else than the rope, so we take the lamp, and that what the lamp does, he removes the darkness and then the rope is revealed as the rope. Therefore, nivritti sarpa vikalparajju, the superimpositions are removed, and kaivalya avasanam prakasha phalam tatha jnanam, and then the rope is revealed. In the same manner, the ignorance about our own essential self leads to the projection that I am the Panchakoshas. Now this is removed by the jnana, and thus when the conditionings are negated, the truth is revealed. And this is the purpose. Hereafter, the teacher goes on explaining through many examples. Nahi rajya prapti phale karmani vyaprutasya kshetra prapti khale vyapara upapattihi tad vishayam cha arthitvam. When somebody is seeking the kingdom, now he will not go on thinking about buying one plot of land. See? Because the one means what? The one who is seeking the absolute. He will never be attracted to get something in the relative world. Therefore, tasmad na karmanaha asti nishreyasa sadhanatvam. Therefore, karma cannot be the ultimate in attainment of the absolute reality. Similarly, nacha karma jnana karmanoho samuccitayoho api jnanasya kaivalya phalasya karma sahaya apeksha avidya nivartakatvena virodhat. Similarly, jnana and karma cannot go together because karma falls in the purview of the ignorance and jnana is the contrary to the ignorance. Therefore, how these opposite things will come together? Therefore, nahi tamasaha nivartakam ataha kevalam eva jnanam nishresa sadhanam. Like the darkness cannot remove the darkness, in the same manner, karma being in the area of the darkness, ignorance cannot remove the ignorance. That is why it is only the Atma Jnana alone is the Nishresa Sadhanam, the ultimate means for knowing the reality, for the liberation, for our absolute good. Now hereafter, a lot of discussions are taken. Like, evam, see, a question is raised by the Purva Pakshi. He says, Nitya akarane pratyavaya prapte kaivalya sacha nityatvan. Sir, you are telling that only knowledge is required, no karma is required. But do you know, if we do not do the nitya karma, you get the pratyavaya dosh. Pratyavaya dosh is the sin of omission. And because of the knowledge you will get moksha. So how these two things will go? You may not do a karma to create something. But there is something called as nitya karma which you are supposed to do, and if you do that nitya karma you get nothing. But if you don't do, then you are suffering. And in this knowledge when you get, you will stop doing the nitya karma, you will get pratyavaya dosh. And when you get the pratyavaya dosh, then you cannot attain moksha. And therefore, ayat yavat kevala jnanat kaivalya prapti iti etad asat. Therefore, what you are telling that only by knowledge the absolute good is done, it is wrong, it is not acceptable. Yato nityanam karmanam shruti uktanam akarane pratyavayo narakadi prapti lakshanasya. Now see what is meant. If you do not do your nitya karma, you are likely to go to hell. And what is the moksha is eternity. So you will be eternally in the hell. Therefore, don't get only into knowledge, you have to do your nitya karma. Now again he continues his thought, very beautiful. Evam nanu evam tari, under this condition what will happen? Karmabhya moksho nasti iti anirmoksha eva. When you say that because of the karma there is no moksha, then there will never be any moksha. How? Na esha dosha nityatvat mokshasya. Moksha is eternal. No, it is possible. How it is possible? Through karma. Now he proves. Nityanam karmanam anushtanat pratyavayasya aprapti. So when you do the nitya karma, there will be no pratyavaya dosh, no sins of omission. Second thing, pratishiddhasya cha akarnat anishta sharira anupapatti. When you don't do the bad karma, you will not go to the lower lives. Third, kamyanam cha varjanat ishta sharira anupapatti. When you do not do the kamya karma, you will not get the higher births. वर्तमान शरीर आरभकस्य च कर्मणः फल भोग उपक्षये पतिते अस्मिन् शरीरे देहान्तरोपत्तौ च कारण अभावात् आत्मनः रागादीनां च अकरणात् स्वरूप अवस्थानम्. And when you fulfill your bhoga of the present prarabdha karma, the body will be dropped. And now you have not done bad karma, you have not done this, you have not done that. Therefore, there is no reason that you should be born again. And therefore, through karma, you have attained liberation. Where is the knowledge required? Therefore, akarana sarupa sthanam eva kaivalyam iti aprayatna kaivalyam iti. Therefore, karma, when you don't do, you automatically go to the kaivalya, the moksha. This is how it is possible. So, atikranta aneka janma krutasya swarga narakadi prapti phalasya anarabdasya kalasya upabhoga anupapatte kshaya abhava iti ched. Now the Siddhanti asked this question, hey, your thinking is terrible. This should not be the right way of thinking. Because you are taking into account only the last life. But there are aneka adikranta janma krutasya. There are many lives in earlier you have done so many of karma. What about them? They cannot be exhausted in one life. Therefore, this is the sanchit karma and it will keep on accumulating. When this is said, the teacher says, no, it is not possible. Because nitya karma anusthana ayasa dukkopabhogasya tat phala bhoga to upapattehe. When you are telling that this kind of karma which we are doing in the nitya naimittika, that becomes the karma phala of the earlier bad karma. So doing the nitya karma is a troublesome. So that trouble is from the earlier karma. You are going wrong. And then in this way it goes on. And Bhagavan says, na tameva viditva mrityumatyeti pantha na vidyate aynaya iti vidyayaha anya pantha mokshaya na vidyate iti shrutehe. The Shruti Mata very clearly tells, without knowledge na jnanad muktihi. There is no possibility of liberation without the knowledge. Also it is said, charmavad akasha veshtana asambhavavat. Remember where from this verse is? From the our Shvetashvata Upanishad. Yada charmavad akasham veshtayishyanti manavaha tada devam avidnyaya dukkhasyanto bhavishyati. If somebody is able to roll the space like a cloth or a skin, then only without knowing the self, all the miseries will be liberated. It is not possible. Therefore, keval jnanad apnoti kaivalyam iti purana smritecha. This is said in the Purana and Smriti, etc. And then how the karma and the karma, jnana, samuchaya, both of them are not possible. Because in Bhagavad Gita also says, ubhautau na vijanitaha veda vinashanam nityam jnana yogena sankhyanam ajnanam karma sanginam tattvavitu mahabaho guna karmani sarvashaha. Then guna gunechu vartante sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste naiva kinchit karomiti. In this way, all this is very clearly indicating karma falls in the purview of the ignorance and not in the purview of the wisdom. And arurukshoho karma karanam arudasya yogastasya shama eva karanam. So unless you have become purified till then under the influence of the ignorance, you have to do karma. But karma has to be rejected. Yogastasya shama eva karanam. After you have completed the yoga rudhatva, then the karma has to automatically drop. And therefore, udaratraya api ajnaha jnani tu atma eva me matam. Then in the 7th chapter also Bhagavan said that there are 4 devotees of mine, artho, jidnyasur, artharthi, but all the earlier 3 are ignorant. Ajnani tu atma eva me matam. But the jnani is my own essential self, and therefore it is only through jnana alone that the truth is revealed and not by karma. Ajnaha karminaha gatagatam kama kama labhante. And ignorant are all the time under the influence of desire, functioning and doing lot of karma, and they are engaged in this wheel of samsara. And ananya shintayito mam ye jana pariyupasate yathoktam atmanam akashakalpam akalpasham upasate. In this manner, those who are constantly contemplating on me without any duality, they alone attain me. Thus, dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te, arthat na karminaha ajnaha upayanti. So when I give them the right wisdom, they come to me. Therefore, the ignorant people don't come. And that is why it is extremely necessary for us to know that it is only through the knowledge alone that the truth is gained, not by any other means. In this manner, here ultimately it is proved that tasmat bhranti pratyaya nimitta eva ayam samsara brahmo natu paramarthaha iti. Samyak darshanad atyantam eva uparama iti siddham. Therefore, of these samsara brahma, this delusion of the relativity, Bhranti pratyaya nimittaha, it is born out of the wrong understanding. On page number 475, last but one paragraph. Tasmat Bhranti pratyaya nimittaha eva ayam samsara brahmaha. This delusion of relativity is born out of this Bhranti pratyaya, wrong understanding about oneself, about the world, about the Ishvara, etc. Natu paramarthaha. And it is not the absolute reality. Iti samyak darshanat. By this correct understanding alone, atyantam eva uparamaha. Then only the samsara dukkha will be completely destroyed by no other means. And therefore, it is siddham, it is proved that it is only by the knowledge alone that the truth is revealed. And this is what is said in Bhagavad Gita. So, iti siddham. Now you will see, Bhagavad Gita is such a beautiful declaration given by the Lord that those who are interested in karma, they can get sufficient quotations. And then they compile all the karma yoga quotations. And before the ignorant people they tell. See, Bhagavad Gita talks about karma yoga. Who did this thing? Bala Gangadhar Tilak. He has interpreted the whole Bhagavad Gita only for the sake of the karma. Bhagavan Shankaracharya only for knowledge. The devotees, see, Mahamekam Sharanam Praja. Tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat. So there is a sagar, there is a sea, ocean, and then there are various kinds of people sinking down, and there one boat comes with Bhagavan Sri Krishna with the Shankar Chakra Gada Padma, and he says, wait a minute, let me put my basuri here. And then he takes them one by one. This is how everybody sees in Bhagavad Gita what he or she has decided to see, not what is. So, the ultimate in all our scriptures, the ultimate in all our Vedas, Upanishad is this. All the problems are because of wrong identity. We have mistaken identity that we are the body, we are the jiva. Unless this identity is corrected, there is no way out. And therefore, it is by this alone the truth is revealed, and therefore we should hold on to this path. And all others are not contradictory. We have seen in our Mandukya Upanishad, or we will see in this Alat Shanti Prakaranam, that the persons who are established in this non-dual reality, they are not opposed to anybody. But those who are obsessed with the relativity, they are always opposed. This is how our people have got more tolerance than anyone else. With this, we conclude Bhagavad Gita. Continue studying this throughout your life till you disappear. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.